Welcome in everybody to video coverage of the 18th annual Crush on the Concho here in San Angelo, Texas. Presented by Walk 604. Got a pretty good card for you today. There's Kevin Jones out of Greenwood, Arkansas.
Big Touring Pro. We got a new face to the crowd right now. We got Griffin, sponsored by Discmania, coming in from Colorado.
We're going to start right off on hole 8, 457 feet. This is a long par 3. Starting out, got to put it right just to the left of that big tree. And yeah, these players are going to be throwing into an open field. Not exactly a gimme birdie.
Right, and then we got Hannum, Oklahoma, sponsored by Discraft. Looks like it's probably crushing a disc out there. Looks like probably one of his forces. I know he's been throwing a lot of that. He'll be throwing a lot of that this weekend.
Oh yeah. Known for some pretty big backhand distance off the tee, but really one of the biggest forehands off the tee as well.
Right. Then we got Kevin Jones, Prodigy sponsored player, coming in from Arkansas. Won the tournament last year, shooting an impressive tournament round, and kind of pushes it a little bit right for his tee shot. Definitely a little bit flippier of a disc, probably what he wanted to do.
Yeah, turns over well right of the basket. And then Zach Reeves, local?
Local from Abilene, Texas, about an hour and a half away from here. Normally not playing pro, but decided to step up for this event.
And he puts one right in the middle of the fairway. And here we have Kevin. He was way pinned up against that OB line, but a good forehand approach right into the basket.
Yeah, was in bounds, no issues like that. And Zach here just definitely looking to lay up here for this 3. Definitely don't want to cause any damage too early, but not worth running it from here.
And if you didn't know, we're playing on the South Concho course here in San Angelo, Texas, and Concho River is just over those bushes on the left side, so anything that has too much speed moving left could be getting wet.
Kyle giving it a bid from outside of circle 2.
Oh!
Drains it, gets it to stick, and look at that slow-mo. Good stick, low and outside, grabs it perfectly. Catches the inside rim.
Austin was also inbounds off his drive, and that gives him a look for birdie.
A little hot outside, but easily tapping for his par. We got Zach looking about 25-footer here. A little downhill. Leaves it low.
Yeah, you could kind of tell he was kind of wiping his hand off. Maybe the disc kind of slipped out a little bit.
Austin tapping in formalities here with Austin, Kevin, and Zach all just kind of tapping in here. Zach taking this little bogey here, but like I said, it's going to happen on this course. There's going to be a lot of scoring separation, especially with that water there on this. And this hole this year made some changes. There is a culvert in the middle that is no longer OB. The city pulled the concrete out. There is a big man on the right, making it one of the harder holes in the course.
Oh yeah, especially since the ground slopes away towards the river naturally, and it's a pretty narrow corridor to get to the basket. Slightly low ceiling, 330 feet. It's pretty treacherous.
And Austin showing why he's known on the tour, definitely for throwing big sidearms. Pushed one way up there. Kyle looks like he actually found that old culvert, so we'll find out in a little bit where it's at. I expect Kevin here to go big, going high flip right down the middle. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Looks like he just held on to that one a little bit there, AJ.
Yeah, maybe, you never know. He might be used to some of the natural tees out at the lake, and maybe these fresh concrete pads are kind of getting in his head a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't in his mind to throw it that far to the right. So let's see if he can fix those errors for the next few holes.
And Zach doing a common play, just throwing something flippy, put it on the right side of the fairway, giving it easy up and down 3. I'm not worried about getting the bird here, but we got Kyle. Looks like he's throwing his provisional.
Yeah, this looks like he's taking his shot from behind where that culvert was. Good approach, but that one's up. In the end, that's going to be a meaningless shot because this is inbounds, even though he's where the out of bounds used to be.
And he did the right thing. If you're not sure on a rule, definitely always play provisional. Always play provisional.
And Kevin, that's can be a tricky approach as well, staring that river down.
Austin getting the 2 early on, needing that to kind of stay in this course that while there's a lot of birdies there, definitely need to get them while you can.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been playing the Crush for a few years. This is my 4th year now, and the talent pool just keeps getting denser and denser. There's more good players that show up. So this first round out here in South Concho, it's a sprint from the beginning.
Pull 10, 412 foot. Austin putting a move. That's definitely got to be another four skip. Just getting it flat and pushing it out there. And ooh, it looks like it's skipping far left. That's going to be dangerous.
Yeah, again, that Concho River is still there on the other side of those bushes, so we're hoping that Austin got more of a straight skip than a left skip. And Kyle looked like it was trying to stay straight for the second half of the flight. I think he's going to have a look too.
Kevin losing the hoodie now. Maybe that was what it was. Maybe just the hoodie got in the way, and
I don't know. That was another slight grip lock.
it's early in the morning. There is a little bit of dew out there, so it definitely could be a concern for him right now. Maybe needs to get him a well sack or something to grip and hold on to it. And Zach almost doing the same thing as Kevin there. Zach looking at this, it's about 200 out. Looks like he's just throwing it overstable mid-range.
Yep, that big tree on the right is just inside the circle, and he looks like Zach ends up in the circle for a par look.
Kevin definitely throwing his BA2, giving it a run.
Ooh.
Kyle's shot was definitely a big skip way down the hill. We thought it got straight, but it looks like it skipped down the hill. It looks like he may have stayed safe though. I'm not sure.
Yeah, thanks to my notes, yeah, he was inbounds. So a little Scooby shot out of there, something like that, something to get under the branches but still slide on the grass. And he's gonna he'll be able to save his par, I think.
These trees are very grabby, very pokey, so you don't want to be rushing against them at all. They hurt for sure.
Yeah, no thanks. You might find a thorn in an unhappy place. Kyle, good par save there.
These guys just be a formality at this point in time, kind of cleaning up their par shots, trying to be clean. Like I said, South Concho is a place where a bad skip can take you downhill and kind of ruin your round.
That's true. Yeah, the strokes can add up real quick, especially with some tight OB on this course. But that's the challenge. That's what everybody's playing against. Par frame there. Hole 11, 407. Another straight shot, but finishing to the left towards the river. Austin going for the skip shot, but he finds a tree. But hey, that's inbounds.
That's a big common play on this, is hitting that tree, pushing it too far, or a little too low, and Kyle definitely is correcting it. Man, this is looking like a good move on this one.
Looks good.
He definitely looking at circle's edge, circle 2 putt right there.
Yep, that tree just to, not the one behind it, but the tree to the right of the basket is about 35, so Kyle's a little short, but he'll be looking at a long birdie. But
Kevin straightening out of this time, getting a huge skip, getting a double big skip, and smiling on that one for sure.
He likes it, yeah. That's some good momentum.
And we got Zach teeing up here, gonna throw the little flex shot, getting past that tree.
That's a good safe play.
Yeah, and like I said, getting up there on the right side of the tree is the way to go. And we got Austin just throwing an up shot from there, pushing it a little bit left of the basket.
Again, yeah, tricky approach that just the ground is just falling away from you the whole time. So getting it close to the basket, but staying in bounds can be a bit of a challenge.
Kyle looking here, looks like he's going to chase down this 2 right here. Let's see if he can nail this one. Wow, that was a good run right there. Committed, fully pushed, gave it the right height, just a touch outside.
Nice and clean release too.
Oh,
Zach.
High and outside on these mocks will definitely do that to you. And Kevin looking at this tap in 2 here. Ooh.
Oh no. Little weak side change from Zach and Kevin.
Austin going, like I said, left side, making his putt, saving his par. Looks like we're going to have an all-star par here with this group as well.
Yep.
Keeping it clean. So the biggest thing, you got to keep it clean slate out here on this course. Most of these are formalities, and the weather was great. Couldn't have asked for anything better. It was nice and warm.
It was, yeah, the sun was coming out, but man, the wind was picking up just after every hole. It seemed like there was just a little bit more wind, and I forget if we're going into the teeth of it or if it's at our backs here. But the play here on hole 12.
You've seen both plays. These are the big plays.
Yeah.
There's a big sidearm and the big high, just little road skip hyzer. That's a very common play for a lot of locals, and for the people who have this sidearm, it's it's 290 foot, just a little flat sidearm, pushing it out wide left and letting it hyzer back in, like you can see as Kevin's doing there with this one. So Kyle take over the road. Looks like Zach's going over the road as well.
Yeah, and the trick here is to, yeah, you don't, oh man, I don't know. The trick is to skip over those poles. And I think we saw Kevin hit an early tree, and there was his approach. So he's gonna have a putt for par. Zach, great putt.
Needing that for that early bogey on. There we go. Getting happy, getting his 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess there's a crowd out there. He's waving to him.
Yeah. We did have people out there going out there supporting.
Oh, I thought that got a good bounce into the chains, but not exactly, not as committed as his first few putts, that's for sure.
Austin, glad to get that birdie in there. Got to get him while you can. Taking the strokes on folks right here. Kevin, not even wait for the chains to settle down. Just going ahead and knocking that par down.
Austin and Zach with good birdies.
We're going to hole 12 here. Got hyzer play, 320 foot. Most people are throwing mid-ranges or putters. Austin looks like he's throwing. Ooh!
Oh, he hit the pole.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's celebrating that one right there. He's asking for those dollars out there.
Good point, yeah. And you can see some of those leaves are kind of pushing, you know, the wind is pushing right to left. And this is a fairly open shot. There's OB past the basket. Did you already mention that?
Yeah, there is OB deep and left on the basket on this one.
Yeah. So an excessive amount of hyzer is gonna kind of expose the underside of the disc to the wind, and you might see someone drift out of bounds, long left.
Kyle leaking that one a little bit right, not stability there, but look like Kevin. Uh-oh. Looks like he's going straight at it. He's yelling to get in it.
Whew, nice shot. Yeah, I mean, going high with that hyzer and the crosswind, yeah, definitely would warrant an uh-oh from me as well. But I can kind of tell Kev's been throwing a disc like that, and I'm pretty sure it's an M4.
Yeah.
So he's going to play that hyzer flip to kind of combat that crosswind. And I think it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. We got a couple of looking birdie putts here. We got Kyle going for his. We got Zach sailing over the top of it. That wind probably got messed with him for sure.
Oh yeah, he was on the left side of the basket, so he had a headwind. Such a tough putt.
Zeroing down his par.
And then, yeah, he didn't give it enough juice to really cut through the wind, and I think the crosswind the wind got him both ways on that one. Picked his putt up and then pushed it down.
Kevin and Austin just smiling over here on those drives, especially after Austin hitting the basket. Kyle was being 10 foot away as well. All smiles over those guys. Good camaraderie going on between Kevin and Austin.
Oh yeah, those guys have known each other for a long time. They used to tour together, and so yeah, whenever they get a chance to play on the same card, it's definitely fun. Moving over to hole 14, 266, super low ceiling, but yeah, the play, obviously that asphalt road is going to be out of bounds. And you see Austin taking a forehand.
Oh,
and he
barely OB.
The road's out of bounds. This line of poles is also out of bounds. So Austin's shot almost sneaks back in, but
he decides to re-tee.
Forced to re-tee. Yeah. And you might be wondering why not take the line on the right. There's a lot of like low limbs that that keep us from throwing high enough to really combat the lack of skip down towards the end of the fairway.
Kevin going wide but getting a big skip and going deep on the basket. Definitely looking at a good birdie opportunity there for him. Definitely wanting to get one while he can. There's Kyle going that up the middle, that right gap.
Yeah.
Pushing to the right side of the tree. That's circle's edge.
He had some good power on that, but once it hits the ground, it's not trying to go too far. And again, I want to point out that Kevin had a lot of good forward push and speed on his disc, because we're still seeing that same wind. It's just coming from a different angle. It's more of a headwind right to left. So, kind of picture that in your mind and realize that a forehand hyzer angle is going to get pushed down more times than not. So for Kevin to fight through that wind, definitely took a little bit more power and spin.
And if y'all haven't noticed, Kyle is throwing righty and putting lefty.
Yeah.
Definitely playing what not some everybody sees, but hey, it's working for that man. Keep it going.
Slightly unorthodox, but yeah, there's no rules when it comes to which hand you want to throw with.
Kevin getting that birdie, definitely needing that too when he can. We've got Zach looking to clean up his par here. Looking at about a 15-foot putt. And
Nice.
definitely cannoned that putt after the last hole. Didn't want to leave it short this time.
Yeah, that's a good correction.
And Austin, unfortunately, taking that bogey, re-teeing, but definitely saving. Great par save, or a great bogey for that one. And as you can see, we're moving on. We've got a new new pin placement this year on this new hole. You are throwing over the gunch. We're actually now playing up on top of a hill instead of it being down into a crevice. And it is a very aggressive 416 foot. There's a lot of OB that comes into play. And Kevin's going to show us just how aggressive you can be on this hole.
Oh yeah.
And while this is not a truly elevated basket, it is up on a hill, adding some degree of difficulty to this 460-foot hole, which is normally very attackable.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, again, it's the next hole. The wind has not died down. It's pretty much just keeps picking up during this round, and so yeah, we'll see here in a minute. This basket's on a little bit of a mound, and with all this wind, it's a tough putt no matter what side you're on.
And Zach getting a little bit aggressive for his style of play. We're gonna look here. Kyle laid up short. We got Austin. Looks like he's kind of almost just laying up.
Yeah, he didn't really analyze that one too much before he started running up and throwing, but I think that just shows he's confident in a simple hyzer like that. And so here we have the basket on this little plateau and mound. Kyle with a great approach hits the base.
Leaving him to easy tap in 3, adding what difficulty is there. Zach get underneath it. Ooh, a little bit shorter than what he wanted especially for his elevated putt. Austin doing the same thing, just laying up.
And we're throwing into a little bit of a headwind still on this approach. So
You can see the chains moving.
yeah, Kev.
Ooh.
Notice how that had a little anhyzer at first to make sure the wind didn't pick it up. If anything, it was just going to push Kevin's putt down.
And Zach laying up, didn't want to flirt with the elevated basket, didn't want to risk taking any more strokes than necessary.
Yeah, I mean a 4 on this hole is much better than a 5 or a 6. So
And these guys just taking in their tap-in pars, keeping it clean. Like we said, it's always the key to this course. And we got still right now, we're looking at Kevin and Austin at 2 down, Kyle at 1, and Zach at 4 up. Moving hole 16, surrounded by OB, but this year we added a wider landing zone for the disc to land in by the basket this year. So we gave you a 30-foot circle surrounded by OB.
well, left side's open.
Left side's OB, yes.
Right side is just there's trees, which might as well be, kind of a little bit more natural OB. But this whole meadow on the left side, that's out of bounds. It's almost pretty much like we're throwing along a beach.
And Kyle showing a really aggressive hyzer line or hyzer flip line, and the typical play you see with Austin and Kevin going big sidearms. Both well known on the tour for having big sidearms and accurate sidearms at that.
Yeah, and they're gonna play that wind. I feel like every hole it's one of the most important things on the course is playing with the wind instead of against it. And that forehand, especially when it starts to fade off to the right, it's letting the wind kind of carry it towards the basket.
And Zach playing a safe route, just going up the middle, something stable, just letting the wind push it over to the right. And looked like he didn't have good footing there when he threw that shot right there.
Yeah, not great footing and not really the best gap towards the basket, so leaves it a little short, but I think he's got putt.
Kevin, disappointed in that putt for sure. He wanted that one.
Oh man, yeah, I could kind of see it on Kevin's putt, but definitely on Austin's putt. The wind picked him up a little bit more than they wanted.
Oh yeah, that's huge. And looks like Kyle just parking the basket. Kyle with that tap-in birdie. Kevin showing
A little bit of anguish, a little bit of he's got to get some birdies here.
17 OB. You can see the flags out there on the left side. It's all OB, and they're going to be a little aggressive. They're going to try to attack this pin. This is reachable for these guys.
Oh yeah, but there's a few trees up right off the tee that kind of bring into play a low ceiling. And if you're not trying to throw it over the OB the whole way, you got to get under that low ceiling right off the bat.
And Kevin pushed his a little bit further right than what he wanted to. Kyle throwing it to the ground, but look at this upshot by Kyle here. Just putting it right underneath the basket. Stress speed 3 all day.
And the 3's going to pick up some strokes on a lot of different people here.
because there's OB behind the basket as well too that you cannot see right
Yeah.
off to the side. So there is a barbed wire fence, and we put that up there for protection purposes, and you can see that OB line that's there now.
Almost looked like Zach's shot might have leaked out.
Kevin putting in that tap in three, and Austin getting the circle's edge look here. Ooh.
Oh no! That was a great line, but yeah, just great.
What a great
putt.
putt. Look at that. Low right side, nailed it.
Another great line.
Kyle was a little deep on this one, but definitely got the putt on it
Yeah.
and nailed it. Wow.
Full extension.
Kept his
holds
body
balance.
upright. Man, you can't.
That's what you want.
Inside the circle, definitely can't have that falling putt. And he showed that he had complete control of his body on that one.
Bunch of threes for these guys. So I guess okay. So Zach stayed in bounds. Good. Hole 18, 355. We're playing down a narrow corridor off the tee. You can't go to the player's right. These first two big trees on their right are mandatories. You got to shoot it down the tunnel. And man, all that stuff on our right to their left, forget about it.
Natural OB,
Just
so
forget
it's
it.
jail if you're deep inside of there. And the common play is what you're seeing right now is throwing a understable disc. Highs are letting it flip flat to carry over, getting outside the tree line, and then slowly stabilizing up at the very end.
But yeah, with those mandatories on the right, the early release is fairly common.
Yes, and when Zach's at it, you'll see that a lot. And Zach just trying to inch his way up the fairway, definitely trying to get up and down as quick as he can, limit the damage that's done here. Looks like we got Austin throwing, just putting a putter up underneath the basket there.
Interesting thing about this tee shot in regards to the wind is the first half of the hole is pretty tight. So the trees kind of block a lot of the wind, but then when you get out to the second half of the hole, you can kind of see it opens up a bit more, and that just gives the wind more room to just wreak havoc.
Zach, trying to give a little bit of a run downtown, trying to save his par.
Nice clean approach, but yeah, it kind of fell off at the end. He really needs to push that disc forward on the second half of the flight.
Kevin doing definitely looked at that one kind of going, what happened there? Kevin being a great circle 2 jump putter just left it short. It looked like the wind just knocked it down. Same thing with Kyle there. So there was definitely some tailwind there.
Yeah, they're pretty much out of the woods. This course opens up quite a bit, so I mean that wind is just going to keep blowing. And Zach pushes his putt a little to the right.
Woo! Austin making sure, staring it down, making sure that's stuck in there. These guys just cleaning up their tap-in putts from there and looking to move on to hole 1, getting to some longer holes in the course, getting ready to showcase what they're really here to do, and that's throw far. That's what they want to do.
Oh yeah, throw it far, pick up some birdies, hopefully. Zach, tough number, rest pars, and yeah, they're all tied at 2 down. Hole 1, 411 feet. See the road there on the left? It's out of bounds, and
There's a low ceiling.
Yeah, these branches, yeah. Low ceiling right off the bat. You might see some big flex shots. Yeah, Kevin's going power forehand. He might be going over the road.
Yeah, this play is, woo!
Oh, low
Get
power
flat.
forehand. Nice. I like the idea there.
And Kyle showed us the low ceiling. He nicked the tree branches on it. It looks like Austin's gonna go big.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have.
Yeah, maybe he should have. It looked like where his run up was sent, he was gonna go big, but
That's what I did. I took a big flex line, tried to use the air and avoid the branches as much as possible. But yeah, these guys. But then again, I started on this hole, and this is what they're like. They started on hole 7 or 8. So
yeah, so they're 10 holes in.
yeah, so the wind kind of picked up a little bit more. Probably that high line would have gotten pushed around quite a bit more by the wind. But Kyle, slightly tricky approach, especially again with more wind. It just makes the approaches on this course way more difficult. So we're seeing this might be a drone or a zone out of Hannum.
And Austin just throwing a maiden shot. Used to playing the wind, being from Oklahoma. He knows this wind. He knows how to play in it. So to him, it's probably just another day for him.
I like this disc. It looks cool.
Looks like that's. I think that's his. I think he has a tie-dye. I believe that's either tie-dye verdict, if I remember correctly from him. We got Kevin out there, staring down, looking at. Let's see if we can get him something here.
Whoa! Hitting a tree. Oh! Almost falls in.
Got Kyle looking at a circle's edge putt here. Tickling that left side, just not quite there.
Oh yeah. First, I mean, playing with a couple big dogs. Kyle's trying to make a breakout performance here, and who knows? Maybe the wind again. It just kind of accentuates any kind of inconsistencies that anybody has.
Kevin with straddle putt knocked down his par. Zach trying to save his bogey. Walk away from that. Just get off the hole, go to the next one, get ready to go. We got Kyle again. Woo! Living life on the edge there, so
sneaky, yeah, there you go. Trying to focus on that follow through. Try not to short arm it, as they say.
Oh, Austin.
Oh, like that? Oh no.
And he's smiling, of course. He wished he was smiling for the two, but instead turned that into a bogey. Just upset with that score, but he's gonna shake it off. I can feel it for sure.
Kevin takes the box, moving over to hole 2, par 4, 701. Yeah, there's a little bit of wind out there. Players are going to be blasting out some hyzers out into the open, and then really the trick, the difficult part of this hole is the approach. The OB shrinks, shrinks the green, and then there's a little bit of there's a mando tree on the right side that players got to throw to the left.
And a lot of big common play is throw a big high hyzer out there, let it get flat, push as far right or as far left as you can to give you that cleaner upshot. Being stuck in the middle kind of limits where you want to attack. And right now these guys are kind of just almost in a not aggressive state where they're at. But we will see. We'll see how aggressive they want to be.
Oh man, and Austin taking no time at all. He just rips his shot right back into the middle of the fairway. As soon as Kyle hits the ground, Austin is ready to go.
Yeah, he had it after that last hole. He was ready to be out that hole and ready to keep on going forward. And it showed. This hole is one that you can just really rip one on.
Zach gets some good power behind that. The wind, I think, is pushing left to right now, so kind of hangs his shot out to the right.
And you can see that big tree is the mando that AJ was talking about. And Zach is going right, just to the right of that tree. It looks like went past that tree, so he'll be throwing from the drop zone just to the left of that tree. If not, he'll not have a good upshot from there. Kyle going with a flippy disc here.
Definitely not missing the mando, but brings the left OB into play a little bit.
And Austin pushing that way right, looks like. I think that was Austin.
That was Kevin. Yeah,
that was Kevin.
Yeah, he might have flipped his over into the creek there.
And Austin, like I was talking, Austin pushed it far enough right, gives him that aggressive sidearm approach to go get that three, and almost rings it up.
Yeah, and the basket is just barely in front of this OB line here, so getting aggressive definitely brings that OB into play.
And it looks like Zach did make the mando. Throwing at his putt from there. And sailing OB. There was 2 guardian trees in front of this basket last year. The city has taken them down, giving you a much cleaner look. But if you're being aggressive, you can also sail OB, and that is a common play of sailing high.
Okay, I think he stayed up, but man, he needs this. This is a tester putt for par. Oh man.
Just hits the cage, not squeaking it over that edge, and a little upset, but he'll move on forward with it and keep on going. And we got Austin cleaning up over there, being that aggressive, getting that 3.
That's a great one.
Kevin having to settle for his par. Kevin taking a 5.
1 birdie and 3 bogeys. Yikes.
Which is not an uncommon play. We did miss the drives on hole 3, but here we go. We're looking at.
This is Zach for par.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's in there. It's all good. It's all good. It's in there. His putt's coming around.
We got Kevin cleaning up his putt there.
Ooh, that was for bogey though.
Kevin must have missed the mando off the tee, which is common play. There's a double mando in this gap tunnel.
Oh, and that's Austin for birdie, and it looks like either the wind kind of got, I think it was a combination of the wind and the chains. Yep, that's what you usually want to do. You want to throw the disc into the chains and the pole.
Hole 4, extend this hole out with a big crush, 400 foot. Getting it out there, looked like that was Kyle, I believe. Bombing one out there. Getting around circles, circle edge, almost circle 2. Zach doing a common play, throwing a flip that hits the tree, gets it right.
Yeah, and again, we're going into the wind a little bit. The wind's pushing headwind, slight left to right, so you might see some discs that find an anhyzer angle and just drift all the way right.
And Kevin right there
the
was
biggest
big.
challenge.
Yeah, Kevin right there kind of showed you just how strong that wind was, pushing it far right, keeping his disc there the whole time.
And Zach having to throw his approach into the wind kind of comes up a bit short. There's Kev giving it a long, and Austin giving it long runs.
Austin trying to knock that one down. We got Zach looking at about a 50-foot putt. See if he can make this one.
Around the tree. Yeah, that's what I would have done. Bending it around the right side of the tree.
Kyle being lefty here, it's got the advantage. He doesn't have that tree in his way on that inside line, so he can be aggressive at it.
See it? Oh!
Tickles the chains, just a little on that weak side.
There you go, Kev.
Sneaking one in. Austin got it celebrating there in that aspect. Kind of just glad they're walking away here. As you can see, the score is looking even. 2 down, 1 down. Very common play. This is a new tip hole we put in this year, 565 foot. It is a par 4. Gives you the big hyzer. Don't want to be in the natural, be on the left side of the fairway. But you can also push it too far right in BOB as well. So you do got to watch, be careful for that. Kyle throwing a nice flat shot. Getting it out. Hitting the edge of the tall grass.
Yeah.
Now this is a play I haven't really seen that much, but
Hey man, if you got a big power forehand like Kevin does, that's smart, because that thing is just fading away from that natural OB, like you said, the whole way.
Zach looked like he got caught up in one of the trees over there. Here we go. We got Kyle throwing his approach off his drive. He's going to have to throw a hyzer, a big spike hyzer, to get to this gap.
It could be a little bit of a blind hyzer as well. I think he came up short left. I don't know if he's going to have the best look for birdie. But yeah, again, this approach is straight into the wind. Makes things pretty tough to control, especially when that fairway narrows down like it does.
Zach looking at his big putt here. Definitely want to get in and off this hole. Let's see if he can knock this down. Like I said, this is a 10 hole that we added for this year. I wanted to give some chance of throwing. And Zach hitting a big putt there.
Wow, that was actually for his 3, so he got the birdie there.
Nice. And this looks like Kyle. That looks like he's putting for his 3 here.
Nice.
Getting his birdie early. Kevin sane. Yeah, there we go. We got 3 birdies and a par on this hole. The guys are definitely wanting to do that. Talk about hole 6 here, AJ.
Hole 6, 361 feet. There's a lot of trees that are pretty evenly spread out, slightly low ceiling, but I think most players are going to play along the right side and try to have something fade in towards the basket. This grass isn't going to skip too much, so you can't really rely on that, so you have to figure out how to get your disc up to the circle's edge, or inside the circle, hopefully, without hitting any trees. So
Austin rolled his wrist. Looks like he burned that one to the ground. Yeah, wasn't happy with that drive, of course. Wanted to get this 2 where you can.
Oh yeah, there's not too much out of bounds that comes into play on this hole. So if you're making a push for that lead card, yeah, you want a 2. Great putt by Kevin.
Yeah, circle's edge, jump putt, just what he is known for doing. Just knocking that down. Same thing with Kyle. Kyle putting it within 15 foot, just getting that tap in too. That stress free is what you need. And for their final hole, they're coming into a hole that to them is a must get.
Oh yeah. Hole 7, right around 270. This is a pretty common play. This forehand around these power structures. What do you guys call them?
Yeah, they're the power poles. They're the power lines.
Right. This year we're not playing the quadruple, triple mando underneath the power poles, but so that's why you see some forehand lines. Austin lining up an ace. A little short though.
Got Zach staring down here, trying to look at his putt. Ooh, sailing high. Wind probably getting underneath his disc. Probably right to left wind pushing his disc and picking it up.
Solid
Kyle.
putt from Kyle. Good finish. And a nice putt from Zach to finish his round. Austin, no.
Kevin, look at this tap into that. Definitely got to get those like he can. And Austin, a little upset with his round. Last couple holes had some bad putts, but
Rough finish.
let's talk about that hot round about Emerson Keith shooting 9 down.
9 down. Trying to, like I said, it's a sprint from the start. This tournament, you got to rack up some birdies, and Emerson did just that. He's 9 down. Seth Talbot 6 down. Kyle Griffin 4, and Cam Messerschmidt. Was that?
Colton Montgomery.
Colton Montgomery. Oh yeah.
Shooting 4 down as well. And like I said, these guys were Emerson out there. That's a 1070 rated round. Impressive. I think it actually wound up being like 1080. I think in the long run, 1070 or 1080. And that was just an impressive round, especially in this kind of weather that we had. Really windy, and Emerson, being from Texas, doesn't hurt him at all.
He knows how to play in the wind, and he knows how to keep his disc in bounds, and he's really good at making some big wind putts too. So
we saw it at Worlds. He's definitely a high competitor, especially across the state of Texas. Definitely expecting to see some big things from this year as well. We had a good showing. First round definitely was a case that we kind of see there's a lot of scoring separation. 6 downs, normally what we're looking at seeing. And this year, like I said, Emerson started hot, and we're going to see what happens over the next 2 rounds. See who can really come out on top and stay strong.
yeah, should be fun for the second round out on the 10th course. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to us, and thanks for tuning in to Walk 604. We'll catch you on the second round. My name's AJ Risley, and this is Thomas Veal.
Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
See ya.